Hey, everybody. I'm going to call this meeting to order at 5:06 on February 29th of 2024. In attendance are Mia Young, myself, Xander Johnson, Nicholas Vila, Joey Bryant, Jake Robinson, Aaron Sargent, and Lola Gallagher. For those listening to the podcast. All right. Moving on. Next item on our agenda is that we must approve the agenda. This requires a motion.
Taking a look at it, I will make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll
Is there a
second.
Great. Hands up for yes. All right. It is approved. Great. Next up, we got to approve the minutes from last week.
I'd like to motion to approve the minutes.
Great. Second.
I will second that.
And hands up for yes. Also unanimous. Pass. I have no report. Advisors.
Yes, a couple things on here. We got a couple of program reviews we're going to look at tonight. We do have, I think, one more week worth of them. So part of this is as a reminder, next quarter, we're going to be jumping in, and I'll ask the question from you all when we get to it, but we're going to be looking at the S&A guidelines, so the policy that we have, so we can provide a review if there's any recommended edits or updates to it. I know there's two of them from fall quarter that we temporarily put in place that we're probably going to look at, but that is on the docket for spring coming up. I do have a notice to you all, but also a question, given that we have a small number of you all on the student side. As you know, we have to have 3 of you to have quorum. So I know next week, and this is mostly checking, I will not be able to be in attendance, which does not mean you all need to change anything. But I won't be in attendance because it is the university's diversity awards happening at the same time. And so I did want to bring that up to get a sense of, specifically on the student side, if any of the rest of you are attending that. Because if we don't have quorum, then I wanted, since we have time now to make notice, to discuss potentially canceling that meeting. So we don't get there and can't review or do anything. But if you will have a quorum, then I'd recommend keeping it. So I don't know if, again, I'll kind of open it. I know it's during my report, but to see on the student side, were any of you planning on or have requested a ticket to attend? It's a free event. You just have to register next week.
I personally have no idea what my schedule is going to be next week. It's too close to finals week and all that.
I wasn't planning on attending.
That's 2.
I was also not planning on attending, so
okay.
That'll be 3.
Good. Then as long as all 3 of you make sure you show up next week.
Unless I fall deathly ill, I will definitely be here next week.
We'll just conduct the meeting by your bedside if needed.
And then I could potentially attend both. I'll just do S&A first and then diversity.
And then jump over to it.
Yeah.
And if you die, we can weekend at Bernie Zoo. It's fine.
Just clicking the hand pulled up on us.
And then Joey, I had one question about that. Is it at the exact same time? So does it start at 5 as well? Or and then is that a 2-hour event, or is it?
I don't see any end time on it. I was looking at that before, so I don't know. I also don't know how many awards they're going to have. So if they do the more formal piece they've done in the past, that has been up to a 2-hour. But I know last year was only about an hour-long one. So I'm planning on at least an hour, but I'm mentally also prepared in case it goes longer.
And then do you know where that is located? If we have time after S&A, I was planning on attending. So.
Yeah, no, if you're able to, that would be awesome and great. And hopefully we don't have a ton on there for next week. We just have some program reviews. We don't have any other funding requests. It's going to be here in the Cirque Ballroom. So if you're able to attend and you're here in Ellensburg, that would be awesome to come and join and
perfect.
Cheer on those who are getting awarded.
And then how do I register for that?
I will find and put the link in the chat.
Perfect.
If I can multitask.
It's been a hard day to multitask.
It has, I'll tell you.
I can look for it, Joey.
I got it right here. I found it. Yep. So you can go right there and sign in. General admissions free. There'll be hors d'oeuvres provided, it says. And there is going to be a keynote speaker at the beginning. So if anything, if the meeting goes quickly, you may miss the keynote speaker, but may make it in time for the folks getting awards and cheering them on. So perfect.
Cool.
And then the last one I have is really just to share this with you all, and we can discuss or bring it up later. But I did get a notice kind of from Alice, and I don't know if this has been shared with others, but did let me know they got an awesome opportunity to serve in a research assistant role starting, I believe, next quarter. Now, I'm not sure the start date. The challenge being that it conflicts with our meeting times. And so unless we were to look or discuss moving our meeting times from Thursdays at 5 p.m., and I do not know what times would be available yet, Alice would not be able to continue with our committee, at least going into next quarter. So something we can talk about and look at if people are interested in looking at different meeting times, we totally can for spring. But I do want to go on the record to say have really appreciated, and I know they're not here, but really appreciated Alice on the committee, has been really fantastic. And so if they're able to continue, great. If not, really appreciate everything that they have done and congratulate them on being able to continue their research assistant role. So
I do know that she did actually just start that today. She's in her meeting right now.
okay.
I
Thank you.
passed
That's
by
why I
her
was
on my
wondering.
way.
I was like, there's not a
Yeah.
date on here, but I think so.
Yeah,
Thanks,
she's gotten the chance to continue this role. They didn't have the grants to continue offering the support for student research until now.
Yeah. Cool. So just putting that out there.
Alrighty.
That's all I got.
Aaron, you got anything?
I do not have anything, but I would, of course, echo what Joey just said, with how great of a job Alice has done and how much we appreciate her.
And thirded, Nick, you're up for ASCWU.
Yeah. So this Saturday we have our ESC lip sync battle. So it'll be a lot of different branches of student government performing. ASCW board will be there if you guys want to see that. Not gonna lie, it's gonna be pretty funny. If you guys are interested, and as well as March 12th, we do have the Student Engagement Hub for the presidential primaries. If you guys are interested in registering or volunteering, reach out to the Governmental Affairs Office. And that's all I have.
Great. We have any communications received? All right, fastest communications received ever. We are now opening it for public comment. I'm going to start. My grandfather is 23 today.
Those dang leap year babies.
Yeah, I know. That's all I got. Anybody else? No is an option. Okay, that seems like no. Moving on to new business, we have the review of annual financial reports and program reviews, starting with the career services on the west side.
So I'll give my little update as usual, kind of brief summary on these. So as we go into it, the career services, and this one is the name kind of alludes to, this is specific to our west side services. I know they came in earlier this year to ask about using their funding a little bit differently because it was for one full-time or to pay for part of one, but they're really using it to provide for the funding for part of the position for our career services on the west side. But as you all may recall, they did ask permission to use that salary savings to do some additional goods and services, do some programming and some engagement. And so this is not for the full career services in general. It's just to partially support specifically our career services at the centers.
Cool. Does anyone have any questions, want further information on this, or see anything that they feel is out of place? Or would like to make a comment on that? And no is also an option here too. Xander, no. Nick, no. Jake?
I'm looking through it right now. It looks good to me. Don't have anything concerning.
Great. I also did not. So let's move on to the Office of Case Management.
Yeah, so Office of Case Management, again, this is one of our funded programs that we only provide funding for part of the office and services. All three of them today fall in that category. So case management itself is really a service where we have professional staff who provide support, resources, and assistance to triage students in any number of type of distress, whether it be issues with housing insecurity, issues with complex types of mental health or things. You can see on their program review, they list a number of different types of things. And so it's really students in high levels of distress that often go beyond the needs of just one office. They triage that and help connect those students to their other resources within the university and surrounding community. The funding pays for 2 of the case managers within the office.
Thank you. Anyone have any comments or concerns or, anything on this one? Xander, no. Nick, Jake. Okay, we're good. Let's move on to the Veteran Center.
And as I alluded to a minute ago, this one, as well as the other 2, this provides funding for only a small part of what the Veterans Center does. And so I'm not going to talk about the large part of what Veterans does, just what our funding goes towards. The funding is really, there's part of the funding that goes towards one of the staff positions. It's not the full salary, it's only a small part. And that position assists in doing the programming and engagement with our veteran students. The other part and the majority of the funding goes towards creating those programs, initiatives, and activities to create the engagement and community for our veterans. So really is their kind of their programming budget to do more of the engagement beyond the compliance parts the office does.
All right. Thank you again. Anyone have any comments, concerns, things that they want to have explored on this? Jake, no. Nick, Xander? No on both? Cool. Next up, old business. No old business.
None.
Public comment, where we're doing the second call. My Calico just jumped up, but she doesn't count as usual.
I do note that she tends to jump up every time you say public comment, though, for the record.
I know, it's weird.
Definitely, I think she's trying to leave a comment. I think
yeah.
I think we might have to get a voice box for her.
Something about feed me more treats, Lola.
Okay, you were talking about the dog, not about me, right?
Cat, but yes, absolutely.
The cat. Okay, sorry. My computer's cutting out. Just a quick note that the Election Commission is working to finalize the schedule and the election packet. There's a few edits from student government, and then hopefully the candidate filing process will open next week. So that is really exciting news, and we need all the help we can get to spread the word far and wide that there's executive board and Senate positions that will be up for potential candidates to apply for.
Thank you. Just for myself, because we may not have a meeting next week. We'll find that out, I guess.
We'll have a meeting.
No, we have a meeting.
We have a meeting.
We confirmed
cool.
There's enough of you to be here, so I just won't be here because I got to be there at the beginning over at the Diversity Awards. So I will miss you all next week.
I plan to attend this and then attend the Diversity Awards.
We do have the Washington State primary coming up, which I believe will be on the 14th. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's around there. Yeah, I'm very interested to see if the uncommitted campaign in Michigan is going to spread to Washington. For those of you that are not familiar with that, just Google it. And yeah, that's it for me. So any other public comments?
The last one I have is more just an update that I should say at the beginning, but as a reminder, we will meet next week since there'll be enough of you on the 7th. Again, I apologize, I won't be there. We will not meet during finals week or spring break the week after. So after next Thursday's meeting, our next meeting coming back will be on March 28th. So you'll get you already should have had the calendar invite, I believe. I went through the rest of the year, but you'll get the reminder and the agenda and stuff sent from Mia that week. But we will not meet again until the first week of the spring quarter.
Is that going to be Thursdays at 5 as well for that first meeting in March or at the end of March?
Unless some discussion or decision is made by you all next week, then we'll keep it as the 28th. Yep.
Perfect.
How are we going to?
But you all can motion and decide that.
Yeah. Yeah. The only other public comment I have is we did not beat our record, Mia, of being out of here in 12 minutes.
No, we did not. I blame Joey for not being the Micro Machines guy and being able to speak 600 words a minute. Lola, you had your hand raised.
Oh, I was just going to ask the same question about the meeting schedule for next quarter so that we could include it in the hype event listings. But if it's a little bit up in the air, it will have gone to print by next week's meeting. So.
Okay.
Never mind.
Okay.
I was lamenting that we only get a week for break, so how are we going to get to Florida?
Yeah.
All right. So
I have one comment. I can't believe you just said Micro Machines, and I'm totally having some flashbacks. So thank you for that.
Old people unite.
Pretty much.
All right. Any other public comments? And if not, we're gonna, get out of here with a motion to adjourn. Which I can't
just
make
as an
'cause I'm the
aside,
chair.
I know we're jumping out here, but Xander's laptop did die. He's trying to get back in, but I'm gonna let him know we're adjourning right now. But Xander was here.
He was. Let the record show. Okay. Well, there is the minimum number of people in order to make a motion here. So one of you two do it.
I will motion to adjourn this meeting.
Great. The only other person that could do it. Do you second?
I second.
Great. Now hands. And we're out.
Bye, everyone.
See you all
Have a
next week.
great one, you all.
Bye.